Hello, everyone. This is Optimus Frank. If you like the content on this channel, don't forget to give a like, subscribe, click that bell for future notifications from this channel. Thanks for clicking and enjoy the show. Let's begin.
So my guest today for this review is Transformers Earthrise War for Cybertron Trilogy Deluxe Bluestreak, and he is a Walgreens exclusive. If you can't find him at your local Walgreens, it's good to just look online and get it delivered. And it was, I just got it this week. It's a nice figure, and let me give you a good look at the box first. Here it is, the packaging. Here we have that Earthrise artwork, which looks nice. His headlights are on, and he does have headlights in this one, not just like indentations, like I pointed out in the previous review I did with the 3 Datsuns, which is something you should check out because yeah, I get into depth with the all 3 of the Datsuns, Smokescreen and Prowl, along with Bluestreak. And here on the other side, it shows that it's a 15-step transformation, and we have a good look at both of his modes. And here's that Earthrise artwork. I hope I can get that. It's under my lighting. There you go. That's a nicer look. Here's that artwork. And in case you didn't get a nice shot of that, there it is. And this is the box. So moving on. Yeah, just to give you a closer look at Bluestreak. I'll tell you right off, right off the back that I do like the Siege better, and it's nothing wrong with this figure, actually. It's a really nice figure. I like the hood. There are things that I like about this figure that are better than the Siege. It's just, I don't know, for me, it's the timing. I mean, he transforms into this 80s, to be exact, the Datsun 280 ZX or XZ. I think it's XC. Anyway, so yeah, he turns into this 80s sports car, and I don't know. I mean, I don't know if it kind of fits. I mean, unless the Netflix Earthrise coming up in the future does take place in the 80s, like the Bumblebee, then that's more fitting. But I kind of see, and I'll show you what I mean right here. Here is excuse me, bump the camera. This looks more like what's out today in 2020. Kind of like what I'd like the Tesla model to be, but this seems more like what's being sold these days. And yeah, I don't know. I don't know if this Datsun, I don't know if it fits anymore, but it is a nice bot. I do like yeah, whenever they go from Siege to Earthrise, they tend to round everything off. There's less circuitry, like there's some Cybertronian etching there in his mold there. You see that on the other side here too. You have the inner doors. This is new, however, these little tabs here that help secure the door more. And the tabs here are on the arm for a change. That's one little improvement they decided to add. And one little detail that I want to point out with this one in particular is that it doesn't have those unsightly hinges. I'll show you what I mean. Right here, you see these little pins here. They're visible in both modes with this Bluestreak. And here, what I like is that they took the headlights and made them wider and smaller, but they actually took those pins and they hid them under the headlights. So they're not as unsightly. They're less visible. Here they are side by side, just to give you a look at both of them. They are similar, but they are different in a few ways. For example, the shape of the doors are different. They added this little detail to where the rearview mirror should be, which is a nice little touch accent of black there. His wings have this more of a wing shape, like as if he could fly. That this Siege, just the paint job, it's a lot glossier, it's shinier, and I think it makes him pop. It makes it look nicer, especially the red. This is more of a candy apple red that shines. The light just bounces off of it. And this differences with the legs in particular is that they have these little flaps to hide the hollowness of it. But the problem with Bluestreak in particular, not so much the other Datsuns, is that they have this transparent plastic here, and you can see that you can clearly see that it's hollow. At least with the Siege, it is hollow, right? But the paint job or the at least it fronts, it's not clear so that it looks hollow from the outside. So it's easier to ignore pretty much. And they have these little blocks here that snap in, that snap open, and that snaps up and down. And I think they provide a better base. It's easier to control. It doesn't you know, these kind of look like high heels, but you know, it also, it's, I don't know, it's just, I think I had a harder time standing this one up. And these do go in easier. They don't snap at all. They just go in, and sometimes you can have them in and not even notice it. And with these little blocks here that snap in and snap open and close, it's more of a sure thing. You know he's ready to stand up once you have them in. So that's another improvement I appreciate. Aside from that, there are differences in the head sculpt. Like I said before, Earthrise tend to be, when they go from Cybertron to Earth, they tend to round things out, and they definitely do that with the head sculpt here. It's more of a round helmet. He has a pointier crown in the Siege, and he has less of a point. It's like thicker. I think he has a thicker crown here in Earthrise, but there are differences in the head sculpt. I don't know. I like them both. I can't really pick one head sculpt over the other. Although this one does look tougher. I do like the helmet. He has also this big Autobot decal. I don't know. I kind of like it a little bit more discreet. You know, it is a nice car. And I think it should be smaller as opposed to this giant one here. I mean, they both are nice. I just prefer... I don't want it to be so loud. And this is a loud decal there. But yeah, back to the start of the show, really. I also like just, the placement of the paint. Or the... like this little red hinge there. It just, in general, with both bots, the color scheme is nice. The black and the red and the silver or gray go well together, I think. And it's kind of one of the reasons why I prefer Bluestreak over the other Datsuns, because to me it's the nicest one. I think I drive around in this car more than the others if I ever had the chance. So I'll give you a closer look at the weaponry for this Earthrise. Yeah, here's his main blaster. Has a nice little, what looks like a scope, or as part of the barrel here, right here up top. And he has this little stock here. Kind of reminds me of Optimus's ion cannon. Or is that Megatron who has ion cannon? I'm not sure, but I think it's his blaster. He has this little stock there. It looks kind of like an Autobot Optimus blaster. So this is it, and you have these two little tabs on the outside that enable these little mini cannons to attach. Before I do that, let me just give you a closer look at one of the mini cannons. They are shorter. They do for some reason look bigger than the Siege. So here's the Siege weapon. It is a lot smaller, but for some reason, I don't know, maybe because it's just round, or I'm not sure, but yeah, just to give you a good size difference, this is a lot smaller, and what I like that they attach. I mean, the Siege has this way of, those weapons have a way of attaching together, they're coming together. But this one has these little ports on both sides of the mini cannon. You can attach it to the side here like this to have a 3-barrel gun. What I like to do is I like to change them around and kind of point them upwards, and it gives it this turret look. It almost looks like a target master of sorts. And of course, if you want to be traditional, you can hook up his weapons, 2 on the shoulder, 1 on the side. You can also take this and because you have that side port, you can put it on the back here, right there. His head is in a ball joint. He can look in all directions pretty well. His shoulder, he has that 360 shoulder rotation. Pretty good articulation. His elbow bends at 90 degrees. He has that bicep rotation there at 360. Also, he has that wrist rotation there, also at 360. He can bend his knee at a 90 degree, probably beyond there because it is hollow. His legs are bigger than the Siege, so that is an improvement. They made his legs bigger than the Siege, but it's not sheathed in, and like I mentioned in the other video, which you should check out. But yeah, he does have bigger legs here, and I remember pointing out that in the Siege, when he does a high knee, it's kind of like a small knee. But here he has because this is a longer limb here, it's definitely more of a... The knee looks normal, actually. His legs aren't too small. He has that ankle tilt that is common with Earthrise and Siege. His waist rotates at a 360. And, yeah, he does rotate at the thigh at a 360. So, yeah, he's really good with articulation. To transform him, it's similar to the Siege. There are some differences though, and I will say there are, you know, you do run risk of breaking this little piece here, and I'll get into it in a little bit more detail, but notice that this little red panel is attached to the windshield. It does not separate from the windshield, so if you try to force it off, it does look like it bends away, but understand that it's attached here at these two hinges, so if you apply enough force, these will snap off and you'll ruin it, really. And it's tough to crazy glue back, I'm not sure, but it's kind of unsightly when you break this part off. So into the transformation, first thing you do is you take these little shin flaps, you fold them up. That's going to enable you to fold it. You take these little blocks here, these little base blocks, and you put it there. You fold them in, I mean. Then at this little tab, you connect the feet. Push together, leave that open. Turn the waist at a 180. And, oh, you know what, this is a little off. There we go. You have two tabs, one there, one here. There we go. You turn it at a 180. And then you take the arms, unfold them. You want to detach this armpit here because in this one you have a little tab here. I don't know if you can see it where my fingers. There's a little tab that goes right into the armpit, and that's one of the major differences in this transformation. It kind of makes it harder in a way, and I'll show you why. Not now, but you kind of see it when you transform it back into his robot mode. So once the arms are up, you can raise this up here, turn the head like I like to do. I don't want to see his face. And because there's no add panel, this is the add panel. You just fold this up. The hood is the add panel in a way. And you can fold it in like this. Take the arms, get them ready by turning them upwards like that. You just want the wheels to face up. And then before anything, before you bring this down, you want to just collapse the legs in. And they go in just like this. And this tends to just closes shut just like that. It snaps shut, which is a very nice feeling. Then once that's in, you can take the arms, you fold them in and down. And like I mentioned before, you have these little tabs here on the side that enable the door to attach better. It puts the arms in place, and you close the doors, and there you go. Here is his Datsun mode. His like I think it's a 1983 looking Datsun 280 ZX XE. So it does roll very nicely. Yeah, I'll get back here. And you can attach his weapons. Two in the front. One at the top. Careful how hard you push down on it. It doesn't go all the way down because of that little clip or something there, that little handle, but yeah, you can also, like I said before, and it looks good this way too, make it into somewhat of a turret. And you got something going on here, you know. So, yeah, I think that works. It makes it look nice. Let me give you a closer look. Here he is in his alternate mode. It comes pretty close to the Datsun. There's some nice detail here in the hood. In the back here, it looks like I said before, I pointed out, it looks like they tried to recreate those shades that the rear windshield has with these striated lines. Let me give it a scratch there. I mean, they could have just gone for it. You know, if you know what I'm talking about, or if the picture doesn't help, it's the same kind of rear windshield that I think the, what's the name of that? Gigawatt has from Back to the Future, that car. I almost called it the DeLorean or something. I think it's a spaceship crap, Star Wars spaceship. But yeah, it does have the same back there. It's that 80s. I'm wondering if that's a Datsun now. I got to look it up. But it has that windshield that looks like shades on the window. And what was so cool about that car, and what I don't think either of these pull off, maybe the Siege comes the closest, is that it had like this sunroof that was open. You could remove the top or something, but it would go like, and that's probably the reason why the back here is different shape. It's more full here, but what you could do with the Datsun, and I think I have a picture up. I'll put it up. You can, or you'd have the regular windshield here, but then this where the driver is and the passenger is would be wide open, which is like you'd have this roof here, and it was definitely a unique sunroof, which was so awesome. I've always wanted to one as a kid. Those were just like, they made the best Hot Wheels too. But yeah, I think out of these two Datsuns, I think this one comes the closest as to recreating what the Datsun was. It's more open here. You can see this big gap here. Don't know if you can store stuff in there, but that is a major difference. Another little difference that I like the Siege for is that you can take these shoulders. There's enough room for you to fold these little shoulder shoulder plates up, and it looks like a brake system there, or some kind of automotive system there. And you don't have that here. You can't really fold this up. That is what it is. You don't have that articulation in the shoulders. Just to give you a few size comparisons in its vehicle mode, here we have him next to Wheeljack, who is a little longer, Partly so he is a racing car. Here he is next to Hoist, who is also a deluxe, kind of a large deluxe. Yeah. Here he is next to Voyager Grapple. Then on the other side is kind of longer. And just for kicks, let me show you what he looks like next to a leader class Ultra Magnus Siege. And yeah, this looks like some nice scaling. So if you made it this far into the channel, please drop a like. It would help me greatly. And subscribe, don't forget, and click that bell. Anywho, so to his let's just transform him back into a robot and show you this big difference that there is between this one and the Siege. You fold his arms out just like this, open the doors, of course. You fold them out like that, kind of like making the letter T. You can open this, pull the wheels down to open that up, and you can bring the rest of his body out, turn his waist to the 180, split the legs, take out these little flaps, and you can unfold or fold down these little heels there, and his legs are done. Now turn his head around. Now this is where it gets a little tricky. It's these little two flaps here, these little tabs. They go behind, or I believe in front, because they're supposed to tab into the armpit. So let me get the arms ready to fold down just like that, and it goes in right here where my finger is. If you could see that little slot in there, it goes in right there. So when you fold the arms in, it connects right here with these, right here where my fingers are. So in order to do that, you have to clear, oh wait, I forgot one little thing. Got to clear that out because this is ab plate, and now his head can go through, but these little red flaps tend to conflict with these little, this little part here, so you want to make sure that you close this, bring it as close to his back as possible, and then that's the problem. It can go right in there, but you want to bring them up in front, just like this. Oops, that came out. Anyway, so yeah, that does come out. So yeah, once that's there, you can bring it down, and the abs do go into that little slot there. And once that is there, you can bring the armpits down and do your best. Sometimes it may be more difficult, but they snap right into that little tab there. And here he is in his transformation. So my overall take on Earthrise Bluestreak is, yeah, he is a nice bot. I love that it's true to the G1 or the movie. It's an accurate representation of who he is in both. I don't like the shin guards, the shins that are transparent in the rear windshield. I also think that his paint job could be glossier or shinier, especially I just like the candy apple red that goes with the Siege Bluestreak. I really like the front of the car, the headlights there, and overall it gives them a nice form. And I do like the weapons in this one, and I think if you can pick this one up along with the other Datsuns, I don't think you'd regret it. So yeah, this has been my review of Transformers Earthrise War for Cybertron Trilogy Deluxe Bluestreak. Thanks for watching. If you like the content on this channel, drop a like, subscribe, and ring that bell for future notifications from this channel. Once again, I'm Optimus Frank. Take care. Until next time, till all are one.